Wow, yeah, you're right. There are a ton of picks.
Yeah, I don't really know. This is a tweak to the bot lane meta because so much has been like Karma's banned and Zeri's banned, so we'll just do an Aphelios Jinx handshake. But now there's these 2 other wild cards, so
they might just go Zeri here.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, so I like that Nautilus has become a more priority pick just because it's a bait for Zeri. If the Zeri does come up, you're just seeing a lot of dive comps, and so like that seems to be the answer here.
Does it go Ryze Zeri?
I think Zeri's probably just gonna be left up. It's probably not even gonna be picked.
I was about to say, what happens when Zeri just falls through this whole draft?
Yeah, it honestly seems like it, because Jinx is a very strong pickup here. So I would probably go Jinx and jungle picks, so you can at least see a little bit more. There it is, the Ryze.
Okay.
I like it. I think Ryze is incredibly strong right now. And additionally, like removing the TF, Ryze still has like really good map pressure just generally. And I think, again, something I touched upon earlier is that I don't think 100 Thieves do have really as strong of an understanding of side lane pressure as TL, so Ryze can help with that.
And you're on red side. So, you know, Ssumday has a great counter pick available.
Okay.
You can move towards top lane with Ryze. Great gank setup too with Rune Prison. So yeah, as you mentioned, Jat, like we finally see the Zeri get locked in here.
It's been 100% pick ban through 5 weeks of LCS.
Yeah.
I would have been shocked if it just falls through, but definitely had a possibility.
Yeah. Along with that, you definitely want to pick mid. Syndra has been seeing a lot more play, and you know the range advantage there, the setup that you can have over Ryze. That's something that I would.
Of course, he's gonna play the Viktor after Abbeddage calls it out in the video. You gotta love it. A snap pickup on Lee Sin though in the 3rd slot for 100 Thieves, and we move into the 2nd ban phase.
And that's dangerous there for now Bjergsen. Going Viktor into Ryze Lee Sin, that's just a lot of gank setup. They're probably gonna try and tunnel in to get his flash off early, and if they can do that, then Bjergsen's pretty much under threat for a long time in the early game.
20 bucks says a Huhi showing up in that lane as well.
Yeah, there we go.
It also sets up a really good win condition for 100 Thieves, right? Because we talked about maybe what they want to do in this game, and Lee Sin is something that interacts with lanes early and often, and Closer has shown a really strong understanding of how to do that.
I like the Volibear ban. I think that's really good.
Do you ban Trundle as well then, just to get rid of another Santorin pick? Or?
I would
Lee
ban
Sin is
Leona.
pretty good against Trundle, so it's
fine. If I was Team Liquid, I'd probably ban Leona, knowing that you're going to go for a support 4 pick on 100 Thieves. And it's just a pretty dominant answer there for Team Liquid, for 100 Thieves to go. So yeah, the Trundle ban goes down. I'm expecting Leona next, or that's just going to be an instant pickup by Huhi. Gnar.
So pinching the top lane.
Okay. I'm a little surprised you.
That's interesting though, because you still expect them to blind it, right? The blue side blind top.
Is it
Like, because I don't expect.
Yeah,
let's see what happens here.
Please do it.
Because I don't expect Ssumday to blind his pick here. So usually I'd be surprised if you start banning. There it is.
Yeah. There's the Leona you wanted banned.
So I'm just generally not happy with top lane bans when you're expecting Ssumday to counter pick top lane. So likely just going to be a beefy frontliner there for Bwipo, and maybe a tryndamere as a response.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Gragas blind.
And
Zhao.
And then we'll see what.
Are you calling the Ssumday tryndamere?
I'm calling the Ssumday tryndamere because you have Ryze too, so you just play through side lanes. That's how I'd go about it. The difficult thing is that it is a Gragas. We already know how Gragas neutralizes the Trynd, but at least you would have 1-3-1 split pressure. So
there it is.
All
right, comps are locked in. We just have a little bit of time for everyone to talk about where they land on this matchup now that you know what the tools they have to work with are.
I mean, I do think 100 Thieves have created a composition which makes up for a lot of the team's natural weaknesses, right? Like I said previously, the time I thought 100 Thieves had the most or strongest understanding of side lane pressure and leveraging it was when Ssumday was just murdering turrets on tryndamere.
So far, I love the comp here from Team Liquid, actually, in terms of team fighting and protecting for Zeri, so I'll have to lean towards Team Liquid.
Alrighty, well, the comps are locked in. That's going to be it from us as we head out to the battle arena with TL versus 100 Thieves coming up next.
It's time for another Assist of the Week presented by State Farm. Approaching the Dragon Pit can result in a wide variety of things. You really have to keep your eyes wide open to control the surrounding area. In this play, Dignitas lost track of Bwipo, and he was wide open for the engage.
Phreak hasn't even transformed yet, and Team Liquid cleanly win the 5v5.
Absolutely beautiful engage by Bwipo.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. We've got the defending LCS champions on the red side, and stay tuned, the future LCS champions on the blue. And Kobe, the 100 Thieves haven't looked quite up to Team Liquid's level so far this year. Ssumday is undefeated on Tryndamere, and I got a pop quiz for everyone at home, and you, Kobe. What's his KDA in this champion?
It's too easy because I casted both of the 100 Thieves games where they picked Tryndamere for Ssumday. It's a whopping 22.
That is correct!
KDA for this man. And in Spring Split, it is also his most played champion with 3 picks now for the Tryndamere, 2 for the Gnar, if you're only including Spring and not the lock-in tournament. And he has looked so good on every single one. I popped off for him every single game that he has picked this champion. He has split pushed so effectively, but he has also played his lanes extremely well and earned himself advantages in all of the matchups. This one, though, is much more difficult. Team Liquid, I'm 100% sure we're expecting this pick from them. That's why they blinded the Gragas, knowing that it's going to be guaranteed counter pick for 100 Thieves on red side anyway. And so they try to deter him with this matchup, which is very effective. And we just saw demonstrated in our previous match, Gragas can handle the Tryndamere by disengaging, body slam, grass procs. I will say, I'm glad we're getting more data on it, though. And we kind of had this discussion last time where you were talking about the solo queue stats leading up towards very advantageous early game lane phases for the Tryndamere, getting CS lead, getting some turret pressure. Yeah. And yet, now we can push it to the extremes because Ssumday is for sure a very good professional Tryndamere player, as we've seen demonstrated already this year 2 times. 22 KDA and basically winning his team those games entirely. And now we get to see it played between him and Bwipo in the Gragas counter matchup here. Yeah. So very excited to see if there are any differences this time around due to the players than previously. Also, jungle ganks are obviously always different in each data point that we have too. So both junglers with opposite paths here, because Ssumday has, as you can see on the minimap, his Lee Sin pathing up towards the top side. This gives you pressure for this lane. Meanwhile, it is a blue side clear for Santorin, and he will reveal himself in mid gank first.
And of course, he already 3v1 Abbeddage. Your days are numbered, and that number is 0 and 1. First blood goes through for Bjergsen. Thanks for the 3v1, everybody.
Woo! Bjergsen gets the kill credit on top of it. That is so painful. Cannon minion does go down, though. Teleport for Abbeddage should actually be saved. It's so early in the game. Level 3 here can just run right back out. So you do want to just try and shrug that kill off, but man, it will have a lasting effect because Viktor is one of these champions that while yes, you want to scale early on, and your big focus early on is usually around minion waves and just trying to push there and try and keep the Ryze from getting too many roams off, you also get accelerated with your augment whenever you get takedowns. So getting an early kill onto the Tryndamere, not only can he get the gold, but also helps out with getting the augment early. So Bjergsen very, very happy getting the 3-person treatment here in mid lane. Okay.
Got the demolish off on one of the towers. Sadly, it is still very early on. Towers are fortified in the top lane, so you don't get the most out of it. It is running relatively normal stuff in trees. Demolish is not a common pick for the Tryndamere, actually. Normally they go for the sustain options, but saying, no, I've got pressure here. I'm going to knock down this tower, so taking a more aggressive line to drop one of the defensive runes in resolve to earn his gold from just attacking the tower.
Yeah, and it has shown in his previous games with it too. Early tower pressure, oftentimes taking some sustained damage under turret in order to get off his demolition proc. Meanwhile, the hover on bottom side is scouted out by this ward, so Closer's not going to get anything here. And this Team Liquid bottom lane, not only do they open up a great roam timing for CoreJJ to affect mid lane, But also with the deep ward here, they utilize this extra vision. They're wasting so much of Closer's time right now.
And you keep walking back onto the ward. Like, finally the sweep comes back up, but you could stay in that brush and recall, you know?
This is one of the biggest things I compliment laners for as a jungler. Like, wasting the opponent jungler's time is so beneficial for your team. Knowing where Closer is, wasting his time down here, not only is he not clearing camps, but also your other lanes don't have to worry about it at all. So CoreJJ is back, Phreak, and already in the first 5 minutes, big influence.
Yeah, and even though Lee Sin is now back on his camps now, off by a bit, the actual timing is so tight. If you want to do another full clear on your third clear, you're not going to sync up all the camps. Like, you'll get blue, and like Gromp won't be up in time.
And as you're seeing on screen, your payment for bottom side revealing on that ward is your Raptor camp. So you actually lose a whole camp there as Santorin plays off of the communication from his bottom lane. Well done by the Team Liquid squad.
Yeah, there's no deep wards here, so at least they don't have to pay against that from Santorin, but he claims top scuttle on the second round around, and I mean, even his first recall's looking good, right? He's got the Iron Spike whip, so TL really well done. Obviously, the first gank looked nice. They're, getting more jungle clear doing as well, so all beautiful things. 700 gold lead to the team as, waves go back and forth. It's 500 for a very early first blood. You don't get full assist credit really early on. Now, what's going next? CoreJJ is walking up the fight for the little bits of chickens, but half the camp taken away. Cask into the tower. Ssumday 6 saves the ulti, able to get back out.
And nice shot there from Bwipo. Ssumday is on pace there with the slight CS lead, though. Has almost a full minion wave of a lead as Bwipo's going to push that one back out, and he should be able to get back to turret to catch the bounce back on his wave. But my main takeaway thus far from the early game is that Santorin is honoring CoreJJ. Not only did he come and ensure that the first gank was successful and track enemy jungler, you just saw there, he even defended your Raptor camp for you. After you stole Raptor camp, CoreJJ on the support recall timer goes and defends his Raptors, chases Closer off of it to ensure that Santorin can then reverse clear his own jungle.
Oh, nice try. Good reflex, Abbeddage. I believe that flash came from Fog, and he just saw CoreJJ out of nowhere, was like, I gotta get out, and was correct to get away in time. Saved Flash from the level 2 kill, and on the map.
As a mid laner, when you're playing against CoreJJ, you have to be in a constant state of stress and be ready to hit that button. Another efficient trade from him. And the biggest thing for me, Phreak, is that bottom lane has not been able to punish FBI for all of this influence that CoreJJ has had on the map.
Yeah, I mean, Hans is doing wonderfully, right? Like, it's on the Thieves who haven't been able to... Ooh, that was close. Yeah, I mean, the one ward they got right, like, they almost had the chance to 3v1. Nah, dog, Lee Sin's on a ward, and Hans is, like, chilling, not even in range of anything. So, sure, you're actually down CS, you're down in roams, you're down jungle camps, you've got a bit of top pressure. We had a pretty safe recall out of Ssumday, walks back, collect his wave. Bwipo, of course, already burned 1 TP, but he's on that wards mill, Kobe. That is an item that makes it really hard to kill you.
Repeat gank, Phreak. There's no flash on this Ryze.
There comes the first bit of damage. Flash jump in. He does sidestep W, but he does not sidestep the Death Ray, and Bjergsen gets kill number 2.
Brutal mid camp from Team Liquid. Bjergsen leaves Team Solo mid, but the Team Solo mid does not leave him. He's got his jungler and his support constantly ganking.
Yeah.
And he gets another one.
I mean, I'll say, though, right? It's team duo, triple mid. They're not wards. They're actually, coming in and fighting for him. So, I got to say, it's a pretty well done, as they're going to knock that one down indeed.
Team triple mid. Okay, that's the new name change.
I mean, I guess, right? Like, I'm not sure if I got anything better for that one, but they're certainly showing up, and it's working well. Merc treads are done for Abbeddage. That's nice and all, but it's going to be just hard to deal with all this.
Bwipo getting a lot of CS back here, too. He zoned Ssumday off the last couple of creeps there with the influence of non-revealed jungle plus roaming up from the mid lane there. So Bwipo in a very good spot here on the Gragas. He also got back to not only his Warden's Mail purchase here, but the tier goes a long way, because the main resource you're worried about here for Gragas is the mana, which he uses to sustain off of all these trades. So with the tier, all your mana problems go away. You get to constantly chug that cast, get the passive regeneration going.
Supports are waiting. Sinjan nearby as well. They're going to actually almost get the stay. We'll get the stun. Hook's going to land. He walked right back into it, but he was baiting for Leona. Is that enough damage? It's not a very tanky CoreJJ, but there's not enough damage to deal. Ryze has no damage yet in the build.
And you can see the adaptation from 100 Thieves, Huhi's starting to match all of this mid pressure after the constant attack that Abbeddage has been under. 100 Thieves trying to correct that imbalance.
Top lanes keep trading blows. Honestly, it's looking fine for Bwipo. The CS again still very close between the two. Ssumday gets some pressure sustains in between these, but yeah, honestly, Bwipo doing a great job just holding up so far in the games we've seen today. Gragas has been completely fine, just sitting there and scaling up against tryndamere.
Speaking of scaling, that's Viktor scales so incredibly well. And all that mid-focus here paying off for Team Liquid. Now they're starting off this Herald, and if you look at the bottom, Zeri had bottom side pressure, and so Zeri pushed up and then went into the Fog of War. And good Fog of War usage, information denial, is one of the biggest things that can help win you these cross-map plays. Here we are. They are going to commit to it. Realm Warp goes out too.
They find Huhi behind the squad. Flash going to get the stun, and Bjergsen's enough. Herald's going to be claimed. They're behind Thieves as well. And a lot of damage comes through for Viktor, but they will trade him down. Trynd has ulti still. How about the team fight, though? Ryze down, Viktor is the same. Both teams now missing a mid laner. 4v4. Herald encloses inventory. 100 Thieves walk away with what they wanted.
Yeah, well done there by Closer. Secures the Rift Herald, and then the 1-for-1 trade with both mid laners down is to their advantage since the bottom lane roam was matched. No extra turret plates given over.
We got to push now towards the tower as Bwipo gets a big wave. Reinforcements are here in case it was going to be a tower dive. They know it's a flashless, ghostless tryndamere, or sorry, an ultless, ghostless tryndamere. That's an easy tower dive target. And here comes the reinforcements. CoreJJ is on the way, but first, they've got the rest of the squad. Cask comes down to push away Huhi. Ssumday tries to bait it up, burns a flash for it.
Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Tactical's able, or excuse me, Hansama. so many Zeri associations I have with him. Hansama is able to move back down to the bottom side, push that wave out, and should be able to force the response here from Abbeddage to pick up the side wave.
Once again, Trinity Force build for the Zeri. Definitely the best one-item power spike build you can do. Overall, the slightly strongest one.
Okay.
Look at this play.
So, the early roam, as we said, from Hansama, Zeri coming up. Zeri also has the ability to jump through these walls, gains a large distance, so they try and force them out early. With the Realm Warp, they get the flash play here onto Ryze, but it's still the 1-for-1 since they burst down Bjergsen. Closer moves in, goes back to pick up the eyeball while they turn to get the extra kill there. And so they will have Rift Herald in hand.
We get a whole breaker through once again for the Ssumday Tryndamere. This is the build we're seeing today right now. We are seeing AP out of Bwipo, though. He's got the Lost Chapter, so maybe Everfrost in the build here. Could be Crown, I doubt it, though. And, well, here we go. What did Jat say? He said, if 100 Thieves get first dragon, they win the game. Not going to happen. Team Liquid going to claim it. Obviously, also doing pretty well in the game. 9 there. They're winning elsewhere as it stands.
Yeah.
They're outscaling in top and mid, as far as I can tell. Looking pretty good.
It's a funny thing.
Just the dragon.
How to use stats, yes. Here we go, though, off this continued invade. Team Liquid want a bit more. 100 Thieves. Blast Cone over, though, to get some alone time.
Big damage on to Leona. Hansama gets away. Huhi is dead. Huhi's going to find a stun. Cleanse, maybe not needed, but who cares? Actually, can they even chase this one down? The reinforcements not too far away. Yeah. Laser going to land. The shield's in. The flash follow. And Bjergsen gets kill number 3. Nice step to block the rocket. No casualties for Team Liquid.
And that counterplay was because there's a big discrepancy in information available. If we had the Fog of War toggle, you can see 100 Thieves taking that cone over with the risk. Team Liquid in the area to respond, and it just takes the ultimate proc there from Hans, dodging out on the Q. Very big punish at the hands of Team Liquid, and this game is going the way of the, I mean, honestly, this kind of response in this budding rivalry is hitting a turning point here for Team Liquid. 2,000 gold lead, dragon to their name, despite the current lead of 100 Thieves in the recent matchups. Team Liquid looking to get their revenge, get their response here, as they are rank 1 in spring.
And it is fun to see Team Liquid kind of back on 4. Like, they had won 4 titles in a row. They were, like, the most dominant era in LCS, I would say. 4 in a row hasn't otherwise been done in the LCS, so to me, I kind of give them that as the biggest era. And then a drought for 3 splits. One of those splits being in 9th place. They were a 9th place team after winning 4 in a row, and it's been a while till they've clawed their way back up. Yes, lock-in titles are good, whatever, but for banners up there, it's been a couple of years. 100 Thieves, theirs is currently highlighted. They got one just now, just at the end of last summer, so TL on the way back up, stepping over 100 Thieves to do it. Obviously doing better in lock-in, doing better here in spring so far, being up in first. Right now, it feels like it's the only team that can contest Team Liquid is Cloud9, and 100 Thieves have to kind of level up to that 2021 form.
See if they can correct this game. Everybody going up to Ssumday's lane with that hole breaker, trying to push down this tower. Yes, everybody else is near him, so you won't get the full value out of it, but that's enough to brute force this trade. They leave Hansama once again down on bottom side. Hansama able to push through that tower, push through the extra wave here, all the way up into secondary, and 100 Thieves trying to just do cross map at the moment.
Oh, mid lane tower will go down. 100 Thieves going to find their second. CoreJJ not going to be in range to stop Abbeddage. Looks for wards and just gets on the way out. 2-1 on towers. Bot lane gets shoved in, though, by Hansama's Zeri. And, of course, she gets solo gold, which is pretty nice to keep scaling. Ssumday catches up most of the wave. Drops a little bit. Sadly for him, the cannon wasn't in range to tank the shot, so does lose most of the melees. Still, though, able to get farm.
Now, let's see how this split push actually develops for them. As far as Bwipo trying to get to his first item completion, I mentioned maybe it is the Everfrost coming out for him, is going to look for a lot of these team plays, these collapses. Ssumday is just going to hard commit to that split push. Try and get your leverage going this way. Hope that the rest of your team will be able to get away and avoid the engage from Bwipo, not kind of expose themselves to some of these flash plays. That's a very difficult task, and you have to put a lot of faith in the rest of your team to play that other half of the map correctly. But currently, Abbeddage pushing on top side, Ssumday trying to use this hole breaker to break into the tower. Bwipo punishing a bit on the trade here at tower. He can easily hold any waves at tower and is not in danger of being dove. However, doesn't have the first push on side wave. So it will always be Ssumday getting first move out of that split push and trying to either join the team or get deeper vision for his team and try and get something done with his time.
All right, let's find the next move here as, yes, mid-wave cleared back and forth. Second Herald is up, and it's going to be 100 Thieves. They got the first one off of a good smite from Closer and a decent team fight afterwards. Look at this one as well.
And it is going to be the commitment to the bottom side here. They do have teleport ready on Bwipo, but he's up at the turret, and they're going to channel now. Committed.
They've gone in, but they're going to get him in a couple of seconds. Now he's there. Zeri puts the ulti on, tries to cut away, stays alive so far as Hansama. Huhi cutting away, staying alive now as well. Rocket gets not a whole lot. FBI flashing back into the pit. Bwipo holding some space. Something going right back in, though. Can they get this one? Santorin is low. They go all the way to the back line. Ulti's on, and Zeri falls. 2-1 so far as Ryze opens up for another. Going to go for another, and yes, it's CoreJJ now dropping as well. A double for Abbeddage, and this is a team fight going the way of 100 Thieves. They roll more forward. Can he get the CC? Yes, they root him in place, and Bjergsen is going to drop as well. Revenge has been found. 100 Thieves crush the team fight.
100 Thieves want to extend that win streak versus Team Liquid Phreak. Huge split on the team fight. Ssumday goes back in and takes down Hansama here. Look at the setup for this Rocket flip the switch replay. Team Liquid moving up into Fog. Herald is down. 100 Thieves pick it up. CoreJJ tries to initiate up the middle. His ult goes onto Closer though, not onto FBI. And so Huhi gets the counter engage onto the double carries there. Hansama on the outskirts. Even with Bwipo in the back line though, look at the kind of re-engage from Ssumday. Forces the flash from Hansama and keeps on going up at the wall. Then Huhi follows it up to lock him down and allow Ssumday to complete the kill. Really nice focus fire there from the 100 Thieves as they surgically remove the carries from Team Liquid. Then the follow-up realm warp there from Abbeddage and Closer. Also able to block him from the kind of counter kill possibility here.
Yeah.
And it is a huge win there for 100 Thieves. Right back into this one.
I mean, just great coordination that Ssumday and Huhi in the middle of the fight were like, yo, we can one-shot Hans. His E is down, his flash cleanse is down. Huhi just like flashes E at 1/3 health, the guaranteed lockdown, and it wins the whole fight.
And it's just so much off of Ssumday forcing these advantages. He's the one who forces Hans's flash early in the fight, then says, I just need a little bit of help here to dive, and is able to call Huhi for the follow-up for that CC. Nice stuff done there. Also, a lot of the rewards picked up by the Ryze with that bouncing damage as well, and being able to get that last kill with the Realm Warp to follow up goes a long way to supplementing this 1-3-1 possibility. Because while we're so focused on tryndamere split push, guess what? Ryze is getting paid now too. He's got 2 item power spike, Fimble Winter. That is 2 very powerful split pushers you have to now deal with as Team Liquid.
I'm going to hope that TL can find some way back into it because 100 Thieves have now tied the Dragon score. They're temporarily up in gold. I will still say I actually slightly favor TL's scaling, but not by enough to say, oh, they're winning this game. It's going to be a real fight here. So they're going to battle for the blue buff as well as actually hitting Bwipo. It's going to be the Everfrost putting him in place. Cask, oh, he gets it anyway. Either between the Q or just a good crit. Blue buff on Ssumday.
All right, double blue buffs here at 400 Thieves as they try and push this bottom side all the way into tower. They want one more minion wave for Ssumday here, so trying to just screen for him, allow him to take out that cannon wave. It might cost them, though.
They're going to dive in a CoreJJ rocket to land for a bit of damage. Will they get the kill? Oh, it's going to be Santorin building some space. Ulti comes down, but left alone, and they're going to drop. Good stun towards closer. Low health bars. 100 Thieves may not be able to keep this fight going. They're going to get 1-for-1 again. It's a 2-for-2 overall fight, and Abbeddage will be stunned and will be killed. This team fight going really well. Team Liquid +1.
Zeri is so good at chasing down stragglers, but they don't have anyone close enough to tie anyone down. And Team Liquid are able to punish 100 Thieves for a bit of an overreach here on that last cannon minion wave, trying to screen for Ssumday. And pretty good defense. Let's take a look at how they actually take the initiation here, because Huhi does use everything on that ward to get the ward kill. So then he goes back in with the E ultimate, but the damage isn't there. Look at Abbeddage and FBI. They're still so far away. And so you have to get inside the Xin ultimate to be able to get down this first kill. So even though FBI gets the reset for Excited, Hook from CoreJJ finds him. Once again, he takes down the big threat on the side of 100 Thieves there. CoreJJ finds the hook, even though he sacrifices his life to do that. With the Jinx down, Team Liquid could push through, get the extra one.
Yes, Herald is summoned to the mid lane, but sadly 100 Thieves never had any chance to use it well, and so it means quite literally nothing. 25 gold handed to on Summit instead.
I think that fight really illustrates why so many AD carries are really frustrated with Xin specifically, because you have to go inside the ultimate to be able to get that kill, and then even Jinx with the Excited move speed can't get back out, can't get back to safety, and CoreJJ punishes, finds that line onto him in the backside, taking out this carry. What a response. I mean, this is definitely a battle of two of the best of the LCS.
Oh, yeah.
A finals rematch, maybe many more to come.
Here we go. Mid lane wave under fire. Team Liquid going to push this one. Will they get much of the tower is the question. They've still got most of the wave. A flash play. Bwipo just spots him out of fog and deletes one. Under the tower is going to be enough. Turret will fall. That fight is going to be easy. Thank you. We'll take both bot laners. 2-for-1 deal. Plus the tower. It's a fire sale on gold towards Team Liquid.
Bwipo, Gragas engaged around this mid turret Phreak. Where have I seen this before? He finds another one.
He played it.
Honestly, this is going to be very tricky for Closer to try and steal. 100 Thieves, only 3 members up, and Team Liquid have the turn!
What a play. CoreJJ finds the team fight. They're going to get everybody. This is going to be a complete crush right now. Stopwatch burn, jump over the wall. Well done by Closer, but they will still catch Abbeddage. Doesn't have a good way out. Slow one more time. Santorin claims another kill. It is not a Baron, but it is a kill and answered.
Yep, 2 more over here. Team Liquid now can transition to the Dragon. Number 2 Mountain Dragon will be picked up. No big responses available to 100 Thieves, so they'll just take their rewards here for TL. 5 kills now on Bjergsen. He has a Zhonya's for these team fights as well. And 100 Thieves need to double down on their split pushing. Team Liquid team fights getting out of hand, but 100 Thieves still have tryndamere and Ryze free. They still have possibilities to try and 1-3-1. Try and get themselves an advantage through pushing the side waves and looking for those collapses, looking for those members to split up.
Well, items are still stacking up. Obviously, we know with the Gale Force in, tryndamere has some really, really good backline access. He can go for the one-shots. It targets lowest health, so once you get someone down to half, Gale Force will hit them for another 400, and you can kind of complete that kill. But you got to make it happen. We're on the way towards rapid fire cannon for FBI to get that first reset, help the team get the burst damage across, but they don't have that many long-range tools, right? Ryze himself is mid-range, so they don't really have the 1200 range one-shot potential.
Yeah, and we also just saw Bwipo illustrating how difficult it is for the other group of your team when you're split pushing away from them. For them to avoid engage from Team Liquid is way easier said than done. You know, Bwipo from Fog flashes with the Gragas, finds the engage onto FBI, and it's a huge teamfight victory there for TL.
2,000 gold, up a dragon, and of course map control belongs to Team Liquid, and Azonius is in for the Viktor. Void Staff is up next, kind of covering his bases, and on the way downwards as they will look to spot Bwipo, and can they kill him 2v1? Double root is in, good damage, but he's
Baron.
only so tanky. He's armor stacked, so Ryze can burn him, but yes, on the other side, we watch for that one. They will try to find that kill, heals up, and there we go, there's the burn. TP is up for the Ryze. When will he show? As honestly, they're not able to go for Baron anyway.
They chased him off. They tried to start Baron in response, but 100 Thieves sussed it out. They chased them off the Baron. They complete their double split pusher kill on to Bwipo. Exactly what you need to do. Play into your win conditions here for 100 Thieves. Play into the split. And they don't have to use that teleport. Such a big cooldown available here as they really can open up this map and try and get themselves back into this one. Play the entire map, push in both top and bottom. Continue to even try and fake some of these double split pushers where you have somebody trailing the tryndamere. When can you go for it? When can you actually just hold at tower for Bwipo?
And to add context to like how good that play was, the kill is 450, the tower is 500, the wave is another 100 that you denied. Like, that was just the gold lead cut by 40% from one play, and a good play, and they stopped the Baron. Like, that's all well done, but that's how much you get back. You walk back so much of the lead from a play like that.
All right, see if they can keep it up. They put a dent in that Team Liquid mountain. They've done it before. See if they can do it again. FBI heading right back down middle. They showed 3 members just while tryndamere is single pushing here, so they know Ryze won't be threatening on top side of the map. And Bwipo actually goes for the recall to reset here. See what he actually picks up. Does himself have his teleport ready to answer.
Nice slow by Hans. Make sure the hook was going to land, so it forced the flash out of Huhi, and it's not a Hex Flash Leona, so that is actually several, or actually just a very big tool missing now from that toolbox. And it's all Fog of War there. They've got to try to find it. They know what's going on. They're going to find that route. They know she's a target, and she's going to get burned down. But can they trade back CoreJJ? No, he's too tanky. The locket is there, and he's going to be just fine. But a kick flash finds one more. Hansama may just die. They get him, but it's going to be traded back by Santorin. So is it enough now for the tryndamere to dive in? They kick in. FBI, beautifully done, but it's not going to be enough. Something gets right back out, but they do finally get that kill. Jinx is down, but Trin's back for more. Road work to safety. Bwipo cannot land the body slam, and Ssumday's running for his life. What? Abbeddage just throws the Q wide, and can he trade back on Santorin? No, he drops the aggro. The tower dive works. Beautifully done by Team Liquid.
What a trap from Team Liquid. Out of the Fog of War, they get it again. This time it's CoreJJ to start out the engage. And even though Ssumday was flanking around behind them from the backside, Team Liquid brute force right up the middle. Take a look at this. So Ssumday starts moving, if you look at the minimap, to go for this flank. But Team Liquid, they channel the teleport while CoreJJ gets the initiation onto the front line. Huhi is down. Then they go for the teleport to try and defend against this flank from Ssumday. And 100 Thieves want to make that turn even though they're already down a member. Closer into the back line. Had a massive heal there to actually buy a lot of time, and they finally finish off the kill onto Zeri, but it's at a huge cost for them. Nice ultimate from Bwipo also hits FBI into them, gets FBI's flash, and allows Bjergsen to kill FBI. The focus from Bwipo there with that late ultimate onto the Jinx. Bjergsen sidestepping the Q there, as well as they get right into the Realm Warp, which allows Ssumday, who doesn't have tryndamere ultimate anymore, to still escape with his life. Wow, these fights are so exciting, Phreak, with the small sidesteps and the re-engages and these clutch ultimates onto carries here.
Yeah, 2 sidesteps, 2 overload sidesteps, 1 missed on a route to target, but wouldn't have killed him anyway. It's important to dodge those things. Huhi looks for the play, can't find it. Though, is there a re-engage? Santorin wants in. Be careful. Abbeddage is slow, but gets out. Santorin finds the way to the slow. Gonna dive in here. Will it kill Huhi is the question. As Lisa gonna jump around, but gets knocked up and can't get much more done. Hansama and his 1v1 against Abbeddage is just fine. A route onto Santorin goes right back in towards closer. It's gonna be enough as Gordur gets back up the health, and now Ward have to safety to the Lee Sin. Very low, gonna be stunned up, and they find the tryndamere kill. He already burned ult and still dropped down, but they trade back the jungler. Still a zap on a Bjergsen, but Abbeddage nowhere to go. Has a flash. Can he even burn it? Will it matter? And he's going to drop 2-1. The team fight again. Team Liquid win it.
A story of 2 immunities, Phreak. It was Santorin trying to zone the rest of the carries from 100 Thieves with the Xin ultimate and buying time, and Ssumday trying to deal with Bjergsen and Hansama with Bwipo peeling him during his tryndamere ultimate immunity. And it's Team Liquid that, even with the extra duration there, pull off the kill onto tryndamere. They take down Ssumday, and they're able to take down this dragon as well. Soul Point will be their rewards. The margins of these fights is pretty small, but now it is just ballooning for Team Liquid. It is going to be 3 dragons, Soul Point, and a 2.7 thousand gold lead.
Yeah, best 5 of this would look pretty good. I agree. Again,
I highly recommend multiple best of 5s between these these 2. We've definitely had some series made on the back of it.
Absolutely agree. It's fun to see. The top end of the LCS really does look very good. Nice pick out there by Bwipo. It'll be fun to watch as they continue to fight for the top spots here. I'm going to try. It's a slow, but he's going to jump in and go for a lot. Obviously, a ton of mobility on this champion. Ryze now on the way as well. Bwipo's got to be a pretty reliable target for this one. The question is the cross map, because you can see TL are running that way as fast as they can. Bwipo tries to buy as much time as possible. As wide as he is, they can't see where the rest of the team is going. And can they get it to happen? Closer's on the way out. They burn this one. They can burn the TP now. It's Abbeddage. Can he show up? 6k health on the Baron. They know what's going on. Ryze ulti, it's a rocket. Not going to kill it. Smite's going to be claimed. Yes, as the TP finally comes across. Viktor ult was burned to kill it faster. And can 100 Thieves cut them off? The answer is no.
Same exact play as last time, except for this time, the timing for Team Liquid is so much better, and they actually have the DPS to pull it off. Bwipo buying time on the bottom side. 100 Thieves trying to pick him off with multiple members, and it's a huge punish. They don't have the resources this time around to stop that Baron, to chase Team Liquid off of the Baron, and so that one is a good death for Bwipo.
Yep, you got more out of it. Well done. You can kind of sending in your jungler made that really tough to pretend you could steal it. And you can see even they burned the Chaos Storm to kill it as fast as possible. And down it went. Next dragon up in 3.5 minutes, and that will be Mountain Soul for TL.
All right. They definitely have the strongest position they've had all game long right now. The luxury of this Baron buff does so much against a split push team. Allows you to keep your waves under control and be able to get over to the bottom half of the map for that dragon in time for setup. When you've got Viktor, it's also super easy to set up vision control and then cut off these small areas, because your gravity field can cut off either of those two entrances. Very, very secure setup for Team Liquid.
2.5, basically. TL able to push in the bottom lane. Right now, they're going to start adding to that coffer. 1,000 in the Red Bull Baron power play. It's going to be 1,800 when this turret falls down. Pretty safe there. Can play it at max range. Shoot out the Triforce Qs. Not going to be much of an issue. Ssumday poaches away one of his own camps. Doesn't want to give that one to TL. 100 gold back to their side, but more will happen soon. Top lane left alone. No one's playing for it. Bwipo going to look towards Ssumday. Finds the root, but they're not going to find much of a kill, and that's fine. It's a pretty minor cooldown. New wave comes to the mid lane, looking to now siege mid. Is this one that 100 Thieves can fight?
Looking pretty risky.
Well, they're going for it now. Gragas is far. Gragas does have TP. Will it be enough for them? They dive in, looking for the first kill. Leona is tanky. Abbeddage safe for the sideline, but first is Zeri getting 1 for nothing. Diving in for a bit more. They can't kill anyone, though. It's 2 for nothing, and Han Sama will knock down another again. A double kill, a dive over the wall. That is going to be the clean ace. 100 Thieves tried when Bwipo went top, and they failed. Team Liquid, Bud Light ace, 5 for 0 into the base.
What a rivalry. Team Liquid will end their losing streak versus 100 Thieves. And yes, sir, Phreak, those Nexus turrets don't stand a chance.
White flag comes out, you know it's over. 32 minutes, the time for every game we've played so far today. A banger for sure. The barns have been burned, the slobber's been knocked, the Nexus has been killed, and Team Liquid alone in first at 8-2.
Excited to watch the progression of this team. CoreJJ back in the lineup again. And they get that win over the Thieves. Already getting into discussion as well. No time wasted for the review.
Nope. Keep it going. Really, really well done. I want to know exactly how we got to mid that quick. Just the first 2 waves they pushed. And he's like, I'm out. See ya, Hans. Like, I'm going to go kill a mid laner for us. That worked really, really well. Yeah. I will say Ssumday's Tryndamere still looked good. He is good at the champion. I think 100 Thieves can play through that reasonably well. Again, it does look good, but the fact that Hans is like chilling 1v2, no big deal, as the mid laner dies and more happens, it's like, I do want to see those 100 Thieves dies themselves.
Yeah. Team Liquid respecting the strengths of their opponents, though, and playing around that prospective Tryndamere pick with the early Gragas lock in there for Bwipo. He has done the Gragas engage before around mid lane. He does it again for the team when they need it. Also in the second fight, in the middle of the fight, when he's able to get the ultimate onto Jinx, who has flash, surprises the Jinx with the mid-fight ultimate to knock him in, get the flash out, get that kill as well. That's how they're winning these successive fights. It is all these small plays that come together when you have a matchup of this caliber with these two teams.
Yeah, it is interesting seeing what Bwipo has played, because he's got this army of champions, obviously. I think he's got more unique champions than anyone else in top lane and LCS right now. But against the biggest opponents, against Cloud9 in the first round robin, against 100 Thieves here, pulls out Gragas. Like, that's his only 2 plays. They both look amazing. right? It's very good at the champion, but it's like, oh, we just save this one. We save it for the ones where we really, really want to win.
Yeah, I mean, it shows the versatility. I think Jat referred to it as the spicy topping.
Yeah, it's the topping on a vanilla ice cream, but now you've got CoreJJ in, so it's a more exciting ice cream. It's like a cookies and cream or something, you know? I don't know what toppings you want cookies and cream. I feel like that's a complete ice cream, but it's obviously working really well for TL. I mean, to me, like, with this lineup, to me, they are the best team in the LCS. Of course, that Cena rematch is going to be really exciting. I'm looking forward to that one. But this is the team to beat to me. And in return, Bwipo is joining the State Farm analyst desk. And